Hi there. I'm going to do this week's chapter in two different parts. This first part is just going over the assignments for you. So it's chapter 12, which is my favorite chapter, social psychology. Remember, this tells you at the end of the chapter, you will have made progress on the overall course objectives here. And this is, as I've told you, your heaviest work week. So you have your quiz, two discussions that are lengthy, and a Dropbox. So I'm going to go over those for you in this brief video. This will be part one. So there is an assignment, and it's called a class divided, and it's a Dropbox assignment. And for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, I put the instructions in two places. But you're going to watch a video, and this assignment, by the time you're done, will help you meet the chapter-specific objective of demonstrating an understanding of attitude and what can influence it. And also, this assignment goes towards demonstrating knowledge of prejudice, stereotypes, and discrimination. It's very good. People like this assignment, but it takes some time. You're going to watch the documentary, which is linked here. And it's approximately 50 minutes long, so give yourself enough time, and then you're going to answer 6 questions that each have a minimum word count of 75. Use your critical thinking skills and use the material from Chapter 12, including the terms prejudice and discrimination, on the questions where it fits, and then be sure to use correct citations and references to get all your points. So here's the movie, and here are the questions, and I'll just go over them for you. Another way to get to the video is to click on this link. You're going to watch it, again, 75 words each. So the first thing you're going to do is summarize the video. This is important. There are certain parts. There's the classroom experiment, the reunion, and then the fact that this experiment that this third grade teacher did was conducted with employees of a correctional facility. So you need all those parts. The experiment itself, you need to mention the reunion, and what she did with employees at a correctional facility. It's just a summary. You don't include your opinion of everything in this response. That's in a different question. But remember, when you're discussing a video, you have to put the in-text citations and the references. The second question, you're going to reflect on whether or not any part of this film surprised you, and if you think anybody who's a different race than you, or ethnicity, or religion, would find it surprising, and then elaborate on your viewpoint. Third question, tell me if you think similar activities could be done in today's classroom, and tell me why you reached that conclusion. Again, 75-word minimum each to get all your points. Then you're going to look at everybody's body language. Look at these kids in the third grade classroom specifically, and tell me some examples of their body language. For example, slumped shoulders or downcast eyes, and explain what their body language says to you about how discrimination impacted them. Number 5, discuss how negative and positive labels placed on the groups became what's called self-fulfilling prophecies, and that is defined in the chapter. Provide an example from the video, and I'm going to give you a big hint here. The one involving test scores is the biggest example. And then additionally, provide an example of a self-fulfilling prophecy that occurs in our society today. And then number 6, what were your overall impressions of the documentary? Okay, so that's one assignment. Then you have 2 drop boxes. Discussion boards. And the textbook talks about this very famous experiment called the Stanford Prison Experiment. And you're going to watch a video on it here. And then you're going to answer the discussion questions. How does the Stanford Prison Experiment shed light on the concepts of social influence, group dynamics, authority and power, and what did you learn about how social norms and roles influence our behavior? based on what you've learned about from this experiment and the video, and the related chapter content on social psychology, reflect on how you think you would behave if you were put in the position of a prisoner and how you would behave if you were put in the position of a guard. Use specific examples and terminology from the chapter to support your analysis and reasoning. And then finally, there was a big flaw in how this experiment was conducted. And Zimbardo, who did the experiment, describes it near the end. You need to identify that for me. Okay? And then your second discussion question, the bystander effect, is a little bit shorter. And you're going to watch this and its examples. First, you're going to read the chapter, right? Always. To learn what the bystander effect actually is. You're going to use terminology from it to reflect on this video showing you examples of the bystander effect. And tell me, what does this demonstrate about the influence of social norms and the concept, this is a specific concept from the chapter, diffusion of responsibility. And finally, evaluate how you would respond in similar situations based on your understanding of these terms. As always, you have to cite and reference and reply to a classmate in your discussions. Although you probably will feel like you won't have time, there is some good supplemental media I attached at the end here. There is a little TED Talk on the bystander effect. One of the videos, the Stanford Prison Experiment, references this Milgram obedience study, and it's also talked about in the chapter. Here's a video of that study. And then finally, there's a crash course on social thinking. So you have really 4 assignments. You have your quiz, a Dropbox, and the 2 discussions. I really would like you to try super hard to complete it, all of it. I don't do extensions, as you know, and I've kind of been telling you for weeks this is a heavy-duty week. But if you cannot finish the Dropbox assignment that is the class divided video, if you email me prior to when it's due and tell me you need an extension, I will give you 2 extra days, but only on the class divided Dropbox, not on quizzes and not on the discussion boards. Okay, and as always, email me if you have any questions.